lesson number 37. My holiness blesses the world. I love how we've been building up to truly accepting our own holiness. This is such an incredible idea. I am holy. You are holy. Our holiness blesses the world. When we fully accept this truth about ourselves, we have an amazing impact on everyone that we see. My holiness blesses the world. Lesson 35 introduced this idea. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. And lesson 36 continued. My holiness envelops everything I see. And here we are at today's lesson. My holiness blesses the world. This idea contains the first glimmerings of your true function in the world, or why you are here. Your purpose is to see the world through your own holiness. Thus are you and the world blessed together. No one loses. Nothing is taken away from anyone. Everyone gains through your holy vision. It signifies the end of sacrifice because it offers everyone his full due. Let's talk about it. This idea gives us our first glimmering of our true function in the world. Our true function, or our purpose, is to see others through our own holiness. Bit by bit, we have been chipping away at the idea that when we see through our ego's eyes, we are not seeing at all. When we learn to see ourselves through the eyes of God, we come to see and believe that we are truly holy. When we're seeing through the world's eyes, when we see ourselves as somehow lacking and needing someone to complete us, we look at relationships through the eyes of, what am I going to get? We are takers. When we see ourselves through God's eyes, when we accept our holiness, this fills us up. We come to accept that we are truly holy. We are full of goodness, beauty, grace, peace, joy, and light, and so many other incredible qualities. And we just want to share that with everyone that we meet. We are givers. The real question is, are we givers or takers? Which one are you? You may want to do some reflecting on this, perhaps journal on it. Let's read on. There is no other way in which the idea of sacrifice can be removed from the world's thinking. Any other way of seeing will inevitably demand payment of someone or something. As a result, the perceiver will lose, nor will he have any idea why he is losing. Yet is his wholeness restored to his awareness through your vision. Your holiness blesses him by asking nothing of him. Those who see themselves as whole make no demands. Let's talk about this idea of sacrifice. When I give love through my ego's lens, I am expecting something back in return. This is called transactional love. And we think of this as a sacrifice. However, when we see ourselves as holy and we are filled up, we stay connected to our source. We have this never-ending stream of love coming into our hearts. And then we give from the bounty of who we are. We naturally want to bless everyone who we come into contact with. My holiness blesses the world. Those who see themselves as whole make no demands. When we know that we have this bounty, this never-ending source of love, then we just give freely with no expectations, no strings attached. We give because we know that we are richly blessed, and we want others to share in the incredible bounty that we are so blessed to have. Here's the most amazing thing. The more that we pour blessings out onto the world, the more we receive back. It's a no-lose proposition. Let's read on. Your holiness is the salvation of the world. It lets you teach the world that it is one with you, not by preaching to it, not by telling it anything, but merely by your quiet recognition that in your holiness are all things blessed along with you. Let's talk about it. It's a way of being. It's the way we carry ourselves. It's the things we say and do. We don't need to tell anyone. I used to just say to myself, I'm an undercover agent for God. I've carried this secret around inside of me for many years, but now it's just bursting out, and I want to share it to everyone who will listen. No one needs to know. They will be able to tell by the light shining from our eyes, from the loving way that we engage with them. It's just a natural, and people are drawn to this. Let's read on. Today's 4 longer exercise periods, each to involve 3 to 5 minutes of practice, begin with the repetition of the idea for today, followed by a minute or so of looking about you as you apply the idea to whatever you see. My holiness blesses this chair. My holiness blesses that window. My holiness blesses this body. Then close your eyes and apply the idea to any person who occurs to you using his name and saying, My holiness blesses you, blank. You may continue the practice period with your eyes closed. You may open your eyes again and apply the idea for today to your outer world if you so desire. You may alternate between applying the idea to what you see around you and those who are in your thoughts, or you may use any combination of these two phases of application that you prefer. The practice period should conclude with a repetition of the idea with your eyes closed and another following immediately with your eyes open. The shorter exercises consist of repeating the idea as often as you can. It is particularly helpful to apply it silently to anyone you meet, using his name as you do so. It is essential to use the idea if anyone seems to cause an adverse reaction in you. Offer him the blessing of your holiness immediately, that you may learn to keep it in your own awareness. Let's talk about our practice periods for today. We are asked to have 4 practice periods from 3 to 5 minutes each, in which we look inward or look outward, whatever feels most comfortable to us. And we use this frame, my holiness blesses this blank. Would you like to do this together right now? If you would like to, either close your eyes and look inward or look around the room. I will say the frame and you can fill in the blank. My holiness blesses this blank. My holiness blesses this blank. My holiness blesses this blank. Our 2 longer practice periods, first thing in the morning and last thing just before we go to sleep. You may want to listen to this lesson or read it and then do this practice. My holiness blesses this blank. As you look around the room or just look inside, as you say to yourself over and over again, my holiness blesses this blank. That leaves 2 additional practice periods at some point in the day that seems most comfortable to you. I would suggest that you schedule these practice periods. Put a reminder into your phone so that you remember to do them. And then we are asked to apply this lesson as often as possible throughout the day. So once again, I would suggest that you write it down on an index card or write it in your phone so that you have it with you wherever you go. Stop just for a minute or so and just repeat this a couple of times as you look about you or reflect inside. My holiness blesses this blank. It is especially useful anytime that you come up against something difficult. Maybe something is bothering you or someone has said something that just doesn't feel right, and you stop and you say, my holiness blesses what so-and-so said. My holiness blesses what just happened. This will really help in keeping that from sticking to you. You don't need to carry around any unneeded resentments. These are never helpful to us. We want to let them go. Be like Teflon. Let them slide right off of us. We also want to remember to say this in our minds to anyone who we meet today. My holiness blesses you, blank. My holiness blesses Joe. My holiness blesses Bob. My holiness blesses Sally. My holiness blesses all of you who are watching today. And I feel blessed by all of you. Thanks so much for listening right until the end, my friends. Are you ready for our special treat?
This is the Temple of Apollo.
Inside the city of Pompeii.
It's Really something if we could imagine this having a roof on it. People here. There's a statue. Beautifully done. And there's Bracy.
My holiness blesses that video. Have a blessed day, my friends. I love you.